We go to Jim Carlton with the Wall Street. No, sorry, we go to Joe Barrett with the Wall Street Journal. It's been a long week. Jim Barrett with the Wall Street Journal in Chicago, where apparently there's not much snow, but lots of snow equipment. Tell us what's been going on. Well, let's get to the it's been a mild winter bit.
Well, there's a pretty good snowstorm right now hitting Denver and making its way into Nebraska, but overall it's been a relatively mild winter. Here in Chicago, we've had a couple of small storms, but it melts away after a few days, and it's really been actually pretty pleasant this year.
And the National Weather Service predicting, I think it's all but 10 of the continental 48 states will experience above average temperatures in February. And yet, based on last year, they all went out and spent a lot of money on a lot of equipment. How's this affecting their bottom line as states?
And we'll get to how it's affecting the weather in a moment, but carry on.
Yeah, they spent a ton of money last year because it was just a horrible winter. I mean, big storms. Right around this time last year, Chicago got hit by a couple feet of snow, and they spent basically twice as much during that storm as they've spent this entire year on snow removal operations. So it's really just kind of a break for the cities that it's been a much more mild winter.
Well, I mean, it's a break for the cities in some ways. They don't need the labor and the overtime to do the stuff, but now they've got all this equipment and that they're not using it. So does this equipment sort of rust and then need replacing even though it's unused? I mean, what happens? Is this just a big miss?
Well, basically, I think it's the same amount of equipment. Here in Chicago, they basically, switch over the garbage trucks to snow plows. So, I think basically it was that they spent a ton of money last year on overtime and salt and other things like that. But I don't think there was really a huge buildup in equipment because nobody's got any money to spend on that sort of thing anyways.
It's also trickling down, Simon, to these smaller businesses too. I mean, if you talk to some of the people who make snow shovels, the people who make snow blowers, I mean, they ramped up production after last year. They couldn't keep them in stock. Now they are stuck with all this inventory. Retailers are discounting all of these items. In fact, if you're in the market for a snowblower, snow shovel, now is the time to go get one.
Oh, I thought you were going to offer one of yours.
No way. It's prized equipment.
So maybe I'd misinterpreted this then, Joe. There's less spending this year by local governments on snow removal. Did they bulk up on the equipment though?
Yeah, no, that's not my impression. We're just hearing about savings from this year compared to last year, especially because last year was such a big year.
Okay, well that's a pleasing thing.
It's also saving our backs for sure on the shoveling.
It is saving our backs. It's still chilly in my apartment though. So anyway, that's all I can say. Still feels rather chilly. Anyway, thank you very much, Joe Barrett with the Wall Street Journal in Chicago.